How to grow tomatoes. From seed for early summer harvests. Complete step-by-step guide. What if I told you that the best tomatoes you'll ever eat won't come from a nursery? They'll come from tiny seeds you start yourself, right at home. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to grow tomatoes from seed for early summer harvesting, step by step. Growing tomatoes from seed for early summer harvesting is one of the most rewarding skills a gardener can master. Most people have never tasted what a tomato is truly meant to taste like, because store-bought tomatoes are bred for shipping, not flavor. When you grow tomatoes from seed, you take full control over flavor, timing, plant strength, and variety. This process allows you to harvest tomatoes weeks earlier than gardeners who rely on nursery starts, and it opens the door to varieties you'll never find on a store shelf. Early summer tomatoes are not the result of luck. They are the result of preparation, timing, and intentional care, long before the weather warms up. Starting tomatoes from seed gives you several powerful advantages. You avoid transplant shock, develop stronger root systems, and grow plants that adapt to your environment from day one. Seed-grown tomatoes produce thicker stems, healthier foliage, and more consistent yields. They also cost far less than nursery plants, allowing you to grow dozens of tomatoes for the price of just a few starts. Most importantly, starting from seed allows you to choose varieties based on flavor, productivity, and growth habit rather than availability. Timing is the most critical factor in growing tomatoes for early summer harvest. Tomato seeds should be started indoors approximately 6 to 8 weeks before your last expected frost date. This window allows seedlings to mature without becoming weak or overgrown. Starting too early leads to tall, leggy plants that struggle once transplanted outdoors, while starting too late delays flowering and fruit production. Tomatoes respond to developmental readiness rather than calendar dates, so hitting this timing window is essential for early success. There are 4 tomato types that every gardener should grow when aiming for early summer harvests. Cherry tomatoes are the fastest and most forgiving, making them ideal for beginners and container gardeners. They flower early, set fruit quickly, and produce continuously throughout the season. Cherry tomatoes are often the first tomatoes harvested, sometimes weeks before larger varieties, and they thrive in a wide range of growing conditions. Roma tomatoes, also known as paste tomatoes, are compact, efficient producers with thick, meaty fruit. They focus their energy on fruit rather than foliage, which allows them to set earlier and ripen more evenly. Roma tomatoes are perfect for sauces, canning, and cooking, and they perform exceptionally well in early summer when temperatures stabilize. Their reliability makes them a staple in productive gardens. Heirloom tomatoes are grown for flavor above all else. These varieties offer rich taste, unique shapes, and vibrant colors, but they require more care and an early start. Heirlooms are sensitive to stress, and starting them from seed early gives them the time they need to establish strong roots before heat arrives. When started properly, heirloom tomatoes can produce early summer harvests that are unmatched in flavor and texture. Beefsteak tomatoes are the giants of the garden. These large fruited varieties require long growing seasons, deep roots, and consistent feeding. Starting beefsteak tomatoes from seed early gives them the runway they need to develop strong stems and set fruit sooner. With proper care, beefsteaks reward patience with massive, juicy tomatoes by early summer. Planting tomato seeds correctly is the foundation of success. Seeds should be planted about 1/4 inch deep in a high-quality seed starting mix, never garden soil. Containers should be filled loosely, watered gently, and kept warm between 70 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Tomato seeds typically germinate within 5 to 10 days. From the moment seedlings emerge, light becomes the most important factor in their development. Seedlings require 14 to 16 hours of bright light each day to grow strong and compact. Lights should be kept close to the plants to prevent stretching. Watering should be deep but infrequent, allowing roots to search downward rather than remain shallow. Gentle airflow from a fan strengthens stems and reduces disease risk. Once true leaves appear, seedlings can be fed lightly with a diluted organic fertilizer. Strong seedlings are short, thick, upright, and deep green in color. As seedlings grow, they benefit from being transplanted into larger containers, a process known as potting up. Each time you transplant, you should bury part of the stem deeper into the soil. Tomato plants form roots along buried stems, and each transplant creates a larger, stronger root system. This root development directly translates to faster growth and earlier fruiting once plants are outdoors. Hardening off is a critical step that many gardeners overlook. Indoor-grown plants are not prepared for wind, sun, and temperature swings. Over a period of 7 to 10 days, seedlings should be gradually exposed to outdoor conditions, starting with short periods of shade and slowly increasing sun exposure. Skipping this process causes plants to stall, struggle, or suffer sunburn, delaying harvests significantly. When it's time to transplant tomatoes into the garden, planting deeply is essential. Lower leaves should be removed, and up to half the stem can be buried underground. This encourages massive root growth, faster nutrient uptake, and earlier flowering. Proper spacing is also important, with cherry and Roma tomatoes planted 18 to 24 inches apart, and heirloom and beefsteak varieties spaced 24 to 36 inches apart. Compost should be added at planting, followed by deep watering and early mulching. Several final practices help push tomatoes toward early summer harvest. Warm soil accelerates growth, consistent watering prevents blossom end rot, and feeding should begin once flowering starts rather than earlier. Tomato plants should be supported early to avoid root disturbance later in the season. Above all, minimizing stress allows plants to focus on fruit production rather than survival. Growing tomatoes from seed is about more than saving money. It's about ownership. It's about owning the flavor, the timing, and the abundance of your harvest. When you grow tomatoes this way, you don't wait for summer to arrive. You meet it early, with baskets full of tomatoes that taste exactly the way they should. Grow early, grow strong, and grow your own.